Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Newsgram. One of the things I love most about this country is our many cultures. America is a melting pot. It always has been. And if you're open-minded, you can learn a lot from the people who come here from other places. Full disclosure, I have never been outside the United States, well, other than Canada and Mexico. But it's something I'm really embarrassed about, to be honest with you, because when I talk to people who do a lot of traveling, they tell me just how much you can learn from other cultures. Well, Fay Chou was born in Taiwan, and she came to America for junior high school. And then she went back to Taiwan for college, and here she is again in America. Having been here now for 43 years or so, and she's done a number of different jobs, including owning her own restaurant, she understands a lot about both the Chinese and the American educational system, as well as the differences in business, and a lot of the differences in the culture in general. She just wrote a book about her life, and in it, she compares the two cultures.
People can come from different cultures, different backgrounds, but it's interesting to see how they come out, how they grow up. And it's very interesting for me to have lived through both cultures, and I gained so much, and I want to share my experiences.
The book is called Memoir of Half a Banana, and if I try to explain the title to you, you're going to call me a racist. So here's Fay doing that job for me.
If a white person thinks like a Chinese and identifies as Chinese, then that person can be referred to as an egg. White on the outside, but yellow on the inside. And conversely, that person would be a banana. So I told my children about this, and they said, no, you're not a banana. We are bananas, because they were American born. So I thought, I'll settle for half a banana then. So that's the title of the book.
I love that. She brings up some interesting things in her book, like the absence of tipping and sales tax in China, the challenges and betrayal she faced in the business world, and some major differences in parenting.
I had very strict parents. And so I sometimes felt that, if I wasn't as strong as I was, I might have been pushed overboard because they treated me like a juvenile delinquent sometimes. Even though I was already first place in my class, they still thought that, I wasn't working hard enough. So when I had my children, I did exactly the opposite. I showered them with kisses and hugs and everything. And I just supported them and encouraged them in everything. So I have very, very close relationship with my children. And that's my best accomplishment in life.
It's fun to glimpse into the life of another person, and when we get right down to it, we really aren't all that different. We still get teenage acne, and we still go to school. But here's a difference in the book, where she writes, lockers are probably necessary for students in America because of their heavy textbooks, bulky winter coats, and the system of changing classrooms, but they are unheard of in Taiwan, China, or Hong Kong. Chinese paperback textbooks are much thinner than the hardbound textbooks in the States, but they contain no less knowledge because Chinese is a compact language. However, when it comes to backpack palsy, we may share a similarity. Well, that's a rare condition, but having sloping shoulders and nerve damage from carrying around too many textbooks is a common problem. In fact, in Taiwan, they have to buy their own textbooks every year and bring them back and forth to school every day, so no passing down used textbooks or leaving them in your locker over there. Differences and similarities.
Even though I grew up and I had experiences vastly different than anybody else, but the emotions that I feel is the same. Everybody's emotions are the same. We react the same towards happy events as well as sad situations, and also stress and difficulties, etc. So I want to stress that even though we can be living or we are raised in different cultures and historical backgrounds, we are basically just the same human beings, so we should all get along. That's the main point that I want to carry out.
For a glimpse into the Chinese people and their culture, consider picking up a copy of Memoir of Half a Banana by Fay Chou.
It's both interesting and informative, I think.
I agree. It's also fun to read.
I try to make it as humorous as possible also, to make it interesting reading.
She does have a great sense of humor, and she tries not to take life too seriously, while at the same time pointing out some very serious differences in culture. She says corporal punishment was common in Taiwan schools. There, to ensure their kids behaved, some parents even gave permission to the teachers to administer corporal punishment to their kids. One such parent was heard telling the teacher, "You can beat my son as hard as you want, so long as he doesn't come home on a stretcher." A different time, a different place, but not something you're likely to hear over here in an American classroom. And there's a reason she made her book so easy to read.
English is my second language, so I don't know a lot of big words in English. My book is very easy to read, and some of the reviews that I received say that this is perfect for middle school, high school students to learn about China.
If there's a student in your family, why not download a copy of Fay Chou's book for them? Memoir of Half a Banana. It might be fun to see what they think. And that will do it for this edition of Newsgram from webtalkradio.com.